In today's video, we're going to do a test towing my 2023 Harley Davidson CVO Road Glide using my Kendon trailer and my Tesla Model Y Performance. The reason I'm doing this test, I want to find out how much range that I lose towing the extra weight, because I would love to be able to use this vehicle as a tow vehicle, but I've got to be able to get more than 100 miles. In some of the towing videos that I've seen on YouTube, you're only getting about 100 miles of range, and I don't know how accurate that is, but we're going to find out. What I think I have going in my favor is that I have a lower profile trailer, it's lighter, and it's not the aerodynamic drag of a big box trailer. So I'm hoping to get somewhere between 150 and 170 miles of range, at least, hopefully more, but we'll see how it does. So we're going to go ahead and load the bike up, but I want to measure a couple of things on the car before I get started. I want to find out how much the weight of the trailer compresses the rear suspension. So we'll measure the suspension first. It can be a little bit tricky trying to attach the safety cables to the trailer hitch. You have to dig up in there to really get to it, but it's not too bad. The neat thing about the Kendon trailer is that it's compact and small and relatively lightweight. It also includes removable ramps for riding the bike onto the trailer. Now, once you have got the bike onto the trailer and secured, then you put the ramps into your tow vehicle, or you can attach them to the trailer itself. Now, once you're ready to tie the bike down, I highly encourage you to review the instructions that are included with your Kendon trailer. But what I do is I use the forks as well as the tie-down spots that Kendon recommends on the trailer, on the front and the rear. The last step for me is just leveling the bike to make sure that it doesn't look weird when I'm looking out of the rearview mirror. To secure the back end of the bike, I use the saddlebag guard, and there's a brace that goes down the middle of the saddlebag. I'm on this side of it. There is a hoop right here for connecting your tie-down straps. I'll do that. I'm tying down or securing the back of the bike. I'm not going to pull it down a lot, just enough to make sure the bike is secured. The extra strap I throw inside of the saddlebag like this. Now I've got the bike secured. I'm going to put the ramps inside the tow vehicle or inside the Tesla, and we're going to load up and get ready to go. I've also included my spare tire and all the parts that I normally take when I'm on a road trip, so I get a good feel for how the vehicle is going to handle and the range I'm going to get carrying all of this extra weight. All right, to put the bike into tow mode, we're going to turn it on, turn it off, and then hit the left blinker and your bright lights, and then you get your tow mode symbol up and you get the beep. So we are ready to tow. Last thing, let's check to see how much we've compressed the suspension of the car. Oh, I don't think it's moved at all. Maybe a half an inch. I think it was at 30 inches, and now it looks like about 29 and a half, so that's pretty good. Okay, so here we are. We had 100% battery. That says we're going to get 279 miles, but of course we know that's not accurate. And we're going to put the bike or the car into tow mode, even though I don't have the trailer light connected. So we are all set. Now, one thing I noticed is that when you hit the camera, you get a nice view of your tow vehicle, and I really like that because it just gives me a little bit of peace of mind knowing I can keep an eye on my ratchet straps to know that they're secured and tight. I'm going to go ahead and get on the road. I'm going to be riding from Arlington, Tennessee to West Memphis, Arkansas. We're going to leave West Memphis, and then we're going to head to Jackson, Tennessee, and then back to Arlington. I think that's about 165 miles or so. So hopefully we can make it on one charge. If not, I hear that Jackson has a really nice charging station, so we'll charge up there if necessary. Hopefully we won't need it. All right, let's go. Now, the one positive thing I can say is that I did not feel that 1,300 pounds attached to the back of my Tesla. It pulled fine, and I did not have any issues. I've completed the first leg of the journey. I am here in West Memphis, Arkansas. So we drove 40 miles. I've used up about 20% of the battery, and we're going to run inside here to Mitchell's Breakfast Burritos. If you are anywhere near West Memphis, Arkansas, stop in and check them out. So let's look at some of the stats from the car. Looks like we have burned, gone 40 miles, averaged 407 watt-hours per mile, and there we are at 79% of our battery. The next leg of the journey, we're going to go to Casey Jones Village in Jackson, Tennessee, and that's 83 miles, and so they have a really nice supercharger there. If I need to charge up, we'll charge up there. Hopefully we make it without any issues. Pulling the first 40 miles from Arlington to West Memphis was a piece of cake. A little bit of noise, but that's typical when you're pulling a trailer. All right, so we'll take a quick look at the bike and the trailer and see how it looks. Yeah, absolutely no issues at all. Straps are holding fine. Everything looks good with the hitch as expected. The only issue, as I mentioned already, is the trailer hitch lights are not working. So I've got a service appointment in for that, but I'm going to go ahead and continue to drive even without lights, because they should be able to see my brake lights behind me, and I'm not going to, well, barely, but I'm not going to be riding in the dark. This is just a test ride, and that service is going to be done on Monday. All right, let's see if we're all plugged. Yep, it's all set and ready to go. Oops. Yep, we should arrive there by 11:35, about an hour and a half, so that's not too bad. Just hope we make it. For the most part on this leg of the trip, I cruised along at about 70 miles an hour, but occasionally got stuck behind a truck like I am here. I've arrived at Casey Jones. Let's take a look at my stats here. So we have arrived with 30% battery remaining, and looks like we averaged about 394 watt-hours, so that's not too bad, I don't think. It's actually an improvement over the first leg. The first leg of the journey, I was well over 400. We're here. We'll take a look. I'll show you around where the supercharger is. Unfortunately, there are a lot of cars parked in front of the superchargers, and they're blocking it, especially the ones that I need. So look at this. So one cool thing about this particular charging station or charging spot, you have chargers like this one right here. These are for towing, and unfortunately got these two cars parked there. There's another one's over there, and those are blocked. And you have a Toyota there, a Jeep there, and a Chevy there, all blocking the chargers. Fortunately, they have a whole bunch of them here, but I just decided to park along the side here, and I'm going to go ahead and plug up. So this will be a bit of a pain trying to charge here, but I'm going to make it work. Oh wow, look at this. There's a whole bunch of cars. Actually, I don't know what size the charger. I guess these are the parking spots for the chargers, so those are probably okay, except for this truck here. I've got 29% charge remaining. I actually think I could make it home. My objective was to try and get 150 to 180 miles on a full charge, and I did that, and that was, or actually I'm at 130 right now, so I'm only about 20 miles away from hitting my target of 150, and with 30% charge left, I don't see that being a problem. So it passed the test. In fact, I think I could have done a little bit better. I could have been a little bit more efficient. So my last leg of this trip, what I'm going to do is I'm going to set my cruise control at 65 and see if that can't get me a little bit more range, and see how much more efficient the riding is. What else can I say? The driving dynamics of the car have been fantastic. No different than any other vehicle I've towed with. This is a pretty lightweight trailer. Between the bike and the trailer, it's probably 1,200 pounds or less. So it's really not that much weight. So you don't feel it back there. There's a little bit of noise, but that's consistent with every vehicle I've towed this trailer with. It's just the hitch there, so it's really not an issue. If you're ever traveling through Jackson, Tennessee, this is definitely a worthwhile place to stop. Got a lot of charging stalls here, assuming that gas cars aren't blocking them. But it's actually a pretty nice place. And looking around here, I actually see why they parked in the Tesla spots, because this is a small parking lot. And they've taken some premium spots for a lot of chargers, and most of them are going unused. And so that's why people are taking these spots. So they could have planned this a little bit better, I think. But I like the idea of it. This is actually a great place to stop and charge up. There's a lot of things to do here. Over there, the country store and restaurant, they have a phenomenal breakfast buffet in there. So definitely a cool place to stop. It's a train museum and restaurant, lots of chargers, and there's things to do around here. This is looks like a museum and a country store or train store. The first towing experience with the Tesla was actually pretty good, truly uneventful. So we'll go ahead and finish the trip home. What I'm going to do differently on this last leg, I'm going to set my cruise control at 65 and see if that makes a difference with battery efficiency. So we'll see how that goes. It'd be nice to get a little bit more range. I wish I could get at least 200 miles.
Left onto US Highway 45 bypass.
And I might be able to do it. I don't know. I mean, if I kept my speed low enough. The only thing difficult about towing with the Tesla is having to drive slower. I'm not used to doing this. When I'm in my gas car, I usually go about 80 miles an hour. Probably not supposed to with a trailer, but I do it anyway. On this first two legs, I set the cruise control at 70, but I did drift up to about 75 on parts of the trip. But on this return trip, I'm going to try to set it at 65. I'm already getting passed by everybody at 70, so another 5 miles an hour shouldn't make a difference. So we'll see if that extra or that slower 5 miles an hour will get me some more battery efficiency, because I really want to get 200 miles out of a trip. But the reality at my age, 200 miles, I don't think my bladder can last for 200 miles. So 150 to 180 is really not that bad, and it looks like I can easily do that with a little bit to spare. And if you're lucky enough to find one of the fast chargers, it makes it even easier. The chargers at Casey Jones were pretty quick. I was only there for, I don't know, maybe.
Now take the Interstate 40 west exit on the left.
Good Lord. I was only there for about 15 minutes. So it wasn't bad at all, and it got me back up to almost 80% in a very short amount of time. So honestly, I would have spent more time there if this weren't if this weren't just a leisure trip. But the nice thing about that particular charging spot, there's a lot to do, a lot of great places to eat, nice restrooms, and everything's pretty cool there. It seems like it's definitely a really safe area to stop. It's a place you'll be comfortable, comfortable stopping for a while. Only downside is that the chargers are really fast. You kind of wish they would slow down a little bit. All right, we have set the cruise control at 65, and we will see how it goes. The last leg of the trip is 49 miles. This is going to be a piece of cake. And it's currently stating, no, I'm sorry, it's 56 miles. 56 miles, and I have 45% battery remain, or I'll have 45% when I arrive, which is good. In case I need to go somewhere else today, I don't have to worry about charging. All right, I've made it back to Memphis. Uneventful, absolutely uneventful trip. The only question that I had going into this trip is the range. And I was hoping to get a range of about 150 to 170 miles off of a full charge. And I think it did it. I mean, when I arrived in Jackson, Tennessee, I want to say that was about the 130 mile mark. And I still had 30% range left. And so I could have easily gone another 25 or 30 miles. Probably could have gone another 40 miles. So it actually went really well. Now, the last leg, some important lessons learned there. I set the cruise control at 65 to see if I could get better battery efficiency. It actually got worse. And my theory is that when I was going 70 to 75, I was generally riding behind a truck. And I think that helped. I think that helped with aerodynamics. That's my theory anyway. I don't know if it's true or not, but going 65, I was getting passed by everybody. So just looking at the efficiency, it says I did 417 watt hours per mile. And that was with the cruise control set at 65. When it was set at 70, I think I finished under, it was under 400. It was like 398 or something like that. But I was going faster. So I think next time I tow, I'm going to set the cruise control at 70 and just see how that goes. But all in all, I'm very pleased with the performance of the car today. The, you know, as I mentioned, the driving dynamics, you didn't even know the trailer was back there. But again, that's a function of the fact that this trailer is so lightweight. And that's what I was hoping for. And I really think the fact that it's not a box trailer, I think that helped a lot with the aerodynamics, or at least it didn't cause as much aerodynamic drag, which would have really killed the efficiency. So we're going to do another walk around the trailer and take a look at it from different angles so that you can see what it looks like. But again, I'm really, really pleased. Ooh, I'm going to show you this. That's pretty cool. So looking at the vehicle from the front, you can't even see the trailer back there. And I think that's what provides the big advantage with minimizing the aerodynamic drag. The trailer's still back there, obviously, but it's just a very small trailer and it's fairly lightweight. And this motorcycle is about, I think, 850 pounds. So everything performed well. Everything performed really well. You know, that's the Tesla hitch. The hitch receiver, I think that's the word, the correct word. This part with the ball on it. I picked that up from AutoZone. And it's fairly level. I think it's off by about an inch, but that's actually pretty good. That's not too bad. It's better than towing on that vehicle. The trailer's not level when I tow with that one. Till next time, this is Q. I'm riding, I'm wrenching, out.
Looks like this one, but are you serious? Why are you doing that?
I'm just looking at something on my camera.
Don't
You go
look,
right
one of your
ahead.
friends just came by.
That's fine.
Here's the Karen. She's a little of the sweet, right? The savory and the sweet. And then we've got the Sonya. This is the very first one we ever started with. And then the Bernadine, because she is our little fancy one.